More time and energy for moms. I am Kristen Vassar. I'm a life coach for moms, a fifth grade teacher, and a mom of three. I created this presentation to teach you how to stop being tired and overwhelmed with your time so that you can feel energized and able to do the things that you want to do. So, the first thing that I want you to do is just imagine what would be different in your life if you had more time and more energy? So, how would you show up differently? How would you show up differently at work, with your family, for yourself? How would you feel? And what is something you would focus on that you don't now? So, for me, when I started doing this work, um, I was overwhelmed and busy and tired all of the time. Um, and after changing my thoughts about time and energy, I was able to create more time and energy and show up, especially at work, in such a different way. I used to just be impatient with the people that I was with. I'm a teacher, so I would lose my temper more with my students. I would always feel like I was in a rush and I had so much things to do. And because of that, I was short with my coworkers. Um, and even I would take work home and do so much stuff at home. And then I would be not focused on my family. I would not be focused on myself and taking care of myself. And I know now I feel so much more calm and at peace than I used to feel. It is mind-boggling to me how much I've changed my daily emotions from constantly stressed and overwhelmed to at peace and in control of my schedule and of my energy. Um, and what is something you would focus on that you don't now? For me now at this point, I focus so much on my development as a person. So that means physically, mentally, and emotionally. I spend, time every single day making sure that I'm set so that I can take care of everybody else in my life. So, what I want you to do right now is pause the video and write down what will be different for you if you have more time and answer all of these questions. And then when you're done, just hit unpause. All right, so hopefully now you have a picture of what your life is going to be like when you change your thoughts about time and energy. So, true change comes from changing our mindset. Any change that you want to have in your life, you have to change the thoughts that you're having. So, in order to do that, though, we have to start with where we are now. Write down what are your thoughts about time and what are your thoughts about energy. So, for me, I used to think my thoughts about time was I have so much to do. I'm never going to get this all done. And those thoughts were the ones that were overwhelming me. And then I also used to be like, I'm so tired, and just talk about how tired I am all the time. So go ahead and pause the video and write down any thoughts that you have about time or energy. Don't be shy, write as much as you possibly can. And then go ahead and hit play when you're done. The model. Whatever you think about time and energy causes you to feel a certain way, and your feelings cause you to act a certain way. So I'm going to show you that in the next slide, an example of that. So, what do your current thoughts have you feeling and doing? Here's an example. I used to think I have so much to do. My feeling was stressed. My actions were do a lot at once, multitask, ignore people, snap at people, don't plan any downtime, overeat, give up, procrastinate, talk about how busy I was all of the time, and don't ask for help. And the result was that I create more to do. So if you look at my actions, if you do a lot at once, a lot of times what happens is you make mistakes. So if you're like focused on making dinner and you're also watching your toddler, and your toddler ends up like making a huge mess, you have to go and clean up the mess that your toddler was making. Um, I would ignore people, snap at people. So, like, my relationships, whenever I was feeling stressed, were not that great. And when you snap at people or ignore people, especially the little ones in your life, like if you don't have a lot of patience for the little ones in your life, they feed off of your energy and they give it right back to you, which makes you busier, because if you're having to calm down your child and talk to your child, because they're upset and they're upset because of your energy that you're giving off, you're giving yourself more to do. Um, if you don't plan downtime, you're making yourself more tired. Okay. And when you're tired, you're less productive. So you're giving yourself more to do because you're not able to get as much done as you would like to. Even overeating. Overeating is something that if you do it, you're more tired and you're less able to be productive to get the things done. So you have more to do. Procrastination. Obviously, if you procrastinate, the things on your to do list just keeps growing and growing and growing. And if you're spending all your time talking about how busy you are, then you're not doing the things that you need to get done. And if you're not asking for help, you have more things to do. So, do you see how all of these actions create the result that you have more to do? So, what I want you to do right now is look at your list of thoughts that you had about time and energy, and just pick one of them. Write down, how do you feel when you think this? So, for a second, take a second, close your eyes, and think the thought. And now ask yourself, how are you feeling? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling exhausted, lethargic? How are you feeling? And when you feel this way, what actions do you take? So take a second. I want you to pause the video and answer these questions. So when you feel this feeling, what actions do you take? What actions do you not take? And what is the result? So go ahead and pause the video. Okay. So now that you've written this down, you kind of can see that when you think that thought, that you're creating the reality that you have right now, that maybe you're tired all the time, or that you have so much on your to-do list, whatever it might be, your thought is creating the reality that you're living. Now, if you had trouble doing this, because this is kind of a new concept, at the end of this video, I'm going to um, let you know that I can help you figure this out and work it out with you, because this is new. And I would be able to show you exactly how your thoughts are creating your current results if this was kind of a hard thing for you to do. All right. So when we feel stressed about time and energy, our actions and inactions can look like this. So here are some things that we can do. We can multitask/rush, make mistakes that need to be cleaned, work continuously, end up burnt out and quit. So that's what I was talking about. If you don't have some downtime and don't have some rest time in your calendar for yourself, you will end up being burnt out. And a lot of times for us moms, we don't even acknowledge that we need a break. So we keep going, keep going, keep going. And then what happens is we get sick or we get injured, and our body is like, hey, give me a break. But we can put those in ourselves. You are likely to procrastinate if you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. And when we procrastinate, we're going to do things to avoid feeling the stress. So here we're going to do things that we really don't necessarily want to do. So we might overeat to avoid doing what we're supposed to be doing, or we might overdrink, or we might go shopping, or we might watch Netflix, or we might sleep. So any action that you do to avoid doing what you really need to be doing, that is procrastination. Um, And then another action that a lot of us do, especially us moms do, is we think and we talk about how much we need to do. So we waste time. We literally go to our friends and we tell them how busy we are instead of just doing the things. Or we think about our to-do list over and over again. That really drains your energy. Thinking drains your energy a ton. Um, if you're stressed, these things you don't do. You don't plan out your week because you're like, I have too much to do. I don't have time to plan out my week. You don't ask for help because it's easier just to do it yourself. You don't focus on what matters most. You don't take a second and pause and be like, okay, I've got a pretty big to-do list, but what is it that I really, really need to do today? Like, what are the 3 things I need to get done? You don't do that. You just like keep going, and you don't pause and think. Again, you don't take breaks and rest, and you don't focus on one task at a time. Focusing on one task at a time means that you get it done faster, you make less mistakes, and right there, both of those things are saving you time. And then the last thing in inaction is we don't take care of ourselves. We just keep going. We don't stop and make a healthy meal. We stop at McDonald's, or we stay up late working instead of sleeping, which is really what we need. Um, so when we're stressed, these are the actions and inactions that we take. So how do we not be stressed? That is the question. So here we go. Here's the answer. To make any change, we must change our thoughts and our feelings. What feelings would you have? What feelings would have you doing the following? Okay, so what feeling would you need to have to plan your week, plan your day, to only put things on your calendar that you truly want to do, to take care of yourself physically, like exercising, sleeping, eat healthy foods, drink water, set boundaries and say no, focus on one task at a time, ask for help, show up with others in a patient way, and manage your emotions, doing things like journaling, meditating, getting outside, coaching, therapy. So, what feeling would you need to have to do some of these things? Okay, we don't have to do all of them, but what feeling? So for me, the feeling that helps me do all of these things is in control. So I know that I'm in control of my time, I'm in control of my energy. So I slow down and I make sure to put these things in to keep my energy levels up and to keep myself getting the things done that I want to get done. Not necessarily the things that I tell myself I have to get done, but the things that I want to get done because I'm in control. So again, the feeling that I like to have is in control, or another feeling could be at peace. I'm at peace with my to-do list. I'm at peace with my to-do list. So what feeling would you have if you were doing these things? Because everybody's different. And you can go ahead and jot that down. What is that feeling? You're also welcome to steal it from me. And again, if you're having trouble, this is something that I can help you with. Okay. Now, what would you need to think to feel that emotion? So for me, I need to feel in control of my time and energy in order to do those actions. To feel in control, I think this thought, I'm in charge of my own energy and calendar. When I feel in charge, I do the things that I want to do to keep myself energized and to keep my calendar exactly the way that I want it. Um, if I don't feel in control, then I'm just gonna like stay up all night and eat all the food and not exercise and just be like, why bother? Because I'm just gonna be tired all the time. Or why bother planning my schedule? Because I'm just so busy anyway. So like, why does it even matter? But when I feel in control, I take back the power and I really create the feeling that I want to have every single day, every single week. So for you, look at that feeling. What do you need to think to feel that feeling? What is the thought that you need to have? And again, I can help you with that. Okay. When I think I'm in charge of my own time and energy, I feel in control and I do the actions that give me more time and energy. The result is that I create more time and energy. So I create more time and energy when I plan my week out. I create more time and energy when I go to bed at 8:30 at night every single night, except for on the weekends. I create more time and energy when I take breaks throughout my day. I'm creating that myself. And I'm doing it because I'm thinking the thought, I'm in charge of my own time and energy. All right. So, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that it's true? Do you think that it can really happen? Do you think I'm just a crazy person making all of this up? It's okay if you think that. Or are you like, hey, this actually works, and you can hear it and you can feel it when you think those thoughts. And like, we're not going to change overnight. I'm going to go back to this slide. I want you to write down. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Hold on. I want you to write down, what is something on this list that you can start doing right away? What is one thing that you know what? I can do that. I can start with that. Write that down. What's the one thing that you can start doing right away? And then what's the one thing that's kind of tricky for you? Like asking for help. Is that kind of hard for you to do? Focusing on one task at a time or planning your weeks. What's the one that's kind of hard for you to do? And just leave that one to the side until you get a roll on whatever it is that you feel like you can do. All right, let me go back. All right. So what now? Practice your new thought and feeling. Practice it every morning. Practice it during the day, and write it down. You have it written down. Put it on a sticky note and put it somewhere like on your desk at work or in your car where you're going to see it. And then say it to yourself and then feel that feeling inside of your body. I am in control of my time and energy. All right. Start with the low-hanging fruit, that action that you just wrote down that you can totally do. Start with that. Start it tomorrow. Start it today. Do it every day. Notice your thoughts. When that thought comes up that causes you stress or anxiety or exhaustion, so whatever you wrote at the beginning, whenever those thoughts pop up, you don't have to believe those thoughts. Remind yourself of your new thought. So when you're like, oh, I have so much to do. I'm so tired. How am I ever going to do this? Remind yourself, I'm in control of my energy and my time. And you are. You truly, truly are. Shift gears. When you have that thought, the old thought come up, remind yourself of your new thought. All right. How can I help? Some actions you are doing come from beliefs that you've practiced again and again. Things like asking for help, saying no, procrastination, and avoidance. These are things that we've been doing since we were young. We were taught this by watching our parents, most likely our mothers. So that's going to be hard for you to change, and that's okay. That's something that you might need help with. So if you want to, you can sign up for one free session to learn how I can help you create even more time and energy. So we can just talk about all of these things. And I can really show you how to take your thoughts to create your feelings and do new actions so you have new results. And once you learn that one time, you can use that for anything in your life, which is really, really amazing. And you can also follow me on Instagram. And I post about this kind of stuff all of the time. So if you're not ready for a coaching session, you can just get to know me in that way. But definitely at some point, we should definitely chat and I'll coach you and you'll learn and grow from just one session. It's so awesome. But anyways, if you made it to the end, then hopefully you have an open mind and you're ready to have more time and energy and just start the work on this. All right. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye.